Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today, with the P-38 Lightning. I chose specifically the P-38L-5 variant, which sits at 4.7 in the US tech tree, and is the highest performing P-38 you can currently play right now. There is the P-38K at, I think, 5.3 for the Chinese tech tree, but it's a hidden premium right now, which means you can't buy it. Additionally, 4.7 gets a lot of down tiers right now, which means this one's the best one you can play for the matchmaker, but this video will still translate to all the other P-38s, they all play the same way. I just chose the one that would be the least painful to fly out. So what is the P-38? Well, it's a twin-engine fighter, but it's one of those twin-engine fighters where it still hangs with everything else. A lot of times, twin-engine fighters in War Thunder aren't very good because they feel like a brick to fly, kind of like the Mosquito for the British tech tree, which they did that thing dirty. But with proper flap usage, this thing turns like a light fighter. Also, if you didn't know, the P-51 Mustang isn't actually America's top ace plane. Richard Bong and his P-38 Lightning set the record for America's highest kill count in World War II, making this thing the highest ace plane that America has. Also, can we talk about Airfield AAA real quick? I don't think landing at your base should be as OP as it is right now. Landing is a privilege that you get for killing everybody and then being able to return to base when there's just a couple people left, or finding a way to not get intercepted. But as it is right now, it's like a 6-kilometer death zone, which I think should only turn on if somebody is actively repairing on the runway. Onto the full game. This isn't necessarily a high kill game, but it is a good example of how to play this plane. It also helps when you have a good teammate around, so I'd highly recommend playing this thing in a squad. But I got lucky enough in this game to have a really good teammate who just happened to always have my back, and I always had his. Normally I wouldn't rely on random teammates, because a lot of the times they let you down. But Paulo Caesar 85, if you're out there, you're a real one. You always had my back, and it really helped in making this video. Once again, I'm opening the full game with a fight with a Spitfire. But unlike last video, I'm not going to go horizontal. I'm diving out to set up my teammate, and once he gets behind him, I pull up so that I can then turn around for this Spitfire. You'll notice me a lot of times using flaps and using the vertical, because my god, this thing is so nimble when you do that. The Spitfire gets forced off of me, which means that I'm going to dive out now and try and line up a shot, but it's too far away and I don't want to sacrifice all of my energy. I was going to go for this FW-190, but I see him and this P-51 taking the world's most drawn-out head-on, and they're both just going to full commit each other and die. That just leaves me to fight this Yak-3. I'm pretty sure I have more energy than him, because I have more altitude, and I think I'm going faster. I miss my shots because he's diving out, but that just lets me pull vertical and whip my flaps all the way out to landing. Even on takeoff, the flaps on this thing lets you turn about as well as any Russian plane. I shoot here, miss a little bit, but I set him on fire. But with how inconsistent fires have been lately, I just make sure to completely finish him off. But as I was saying, the flaps on this thing, takeoff flaps will let you turn with basically any Russian fighter, and the landing flaps will tighten that down even more. Like, I've been able to hang with some Spitfires every once in a while with the flaps out. I take a head-on with this Yak, and it wasn't the best decision, but in the heat of the moment, I thought that's what I needed to do. I was going to keep chasing this Yak-3, but a P-63 ends up diving on him, so I don't need to do that. My teammate calls that he needs cover, and I go to dive on this Spitfire because I will do anything for this man. And oh my god, that was the greatest one-tap of my life. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better though, a kilometer out, I missed this Yak-3. Because I remembered that I'm not actually good at the game. But the teammate ends up pushing him down and into my guns, and I'm able to get a hit. Probably with like the armor-piercing round on the 20 mil, or like hitting not something important with the incendiary round of the 50 cals. But I do end up in a downward spiral with this Yak-3. With the takeoff flaps out, you'll notice that I'm not only just keeping up with him, but because I'm cutting inside of his circle a little bit every time, I'm able to point my nose at him. But my teammate does turn better than I do, and he's able to get the kill before I do. The 109 is running back to his base, so I'm going to turn around and fight this Spitfire that I have an energy advantage over. But if you notice, I actually have one black engine, and it's going to cut out at any moment, meaning I'm entering this fight with the Spitfire with one engine. And there it goes. The only reason the propeller blade is even still spinning is because I have forward momentum. It has the prop pitch set all the way to 0 so that it doesn't induce any drag, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm still fighting on one engine. As I'm diving on him though, I notice black smoke coming from his engine, which means it's probably damaged, and with how slow he's going, that's most likely true. Because I have a skill issue, I miss a bunch, but I do end up getting the kill because the 20mm on this thing is very good. With this damage and no more enemies in the area, I decide it's time to return to base. But landing this thing is so easy because the flaps provide so much lift and tricycle landing gear are really easy to work with that I'm going to do it in cockpit view even though I only have one engine. I'm going to touch down here, and as I touch down, it's time for our friend to head back off to war. He's gonna fly over me, and everybody make sure to say your goodbyes to our friend Paulo here. Last person left on the enemy team is this BV-155. Now, last video, I told you all about how to not play to your enemy's strengths, but I do exactly that right here. I go vertical with the BV-155, and his wings are so large that this guy's never going to stall out before me. But I have an amazing teammate to bail me out, and I'm going to pretend that that bait was intentional. Paulo, if you're watching this video, I would love to squad up with you anytime. You are always welcome here. Here, I'm energy fighting a J-21. You probably can't see him yet because YouTube compression, but he will go spotted here in a moment. I am able to get around on this guy because he is such low energy because he was still climbing when I got to him. And I'm sorry, Swedish players, but the J-21 just isn't very good. It's very fun to play because it has good guns, but it doesn't do much better than other planes, and if anything gets behind you, you're gonna get set on fire like this. I don't even manage to finish him off, but with all the black smoke coming out of his plane, he's burning up and dying. There's no question about it. After that J-21, I have an energy advantage over their whole team, and I get into a little tussle with this Spitfire. He is trying to dodge, and I'm trying to predict where he's going to go. He pulls directly down, and that's a mistake. But I only managed to get a hit on him, and I dive out instantly because if you overshoot a Spitfire, your best bet is to run away. Now, as I pull out, I'm already going faster than his rip speed, and when I look behind me, he's like 2 kilometers behind me. There's this 109 above me who is my next target because he has an energy advantage over me, but he is also smoking, and it's black smoke, which means engine damage. I go vertical here, and then I go horizontal and pull my flaps out to cut into him. But I should have cut my throttle here if I wanted a gunshot, because I had to pull up above his guns to not fly into him. Next to me, though, is this Typhoon, and he's already occupied with an XP-50, which makes him a juicy target. I go to shoot him, and I get a fire, and I pull up. Hey, yo, what the? PSA to all the low-level players out there. Team killing is bad. I know that's a hot take, but team killing puts you at an early numbers disadvantage, and it's not very enjoyable, especially as a content creator when I'm trying to farm clips and I'm having a good game so far. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, remember to, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. All those good things that, us small content creators really need to help get our voice out there. Especially with all the support you guys have been showing lately, it really encourages me to make more content, and I think I'm going to move to 2 videos a week now. Other than that, I'd like to remind you guys that I have a Discord server. It'll be in the description, and this will be the last time I pin it in the comments. I did a 100 sub special in there, and I'm going to do more events like that in the future, so make sure to join those. My goal is to hit 1K subs by the end of next month. Anyway, that's it for this video. Bye-bye.